Who Am I by Perla Cordova. I am the daughter of Mexican immigrants. My father was born in the outskirts of Zacatecas, Mexico. At 8 years old, he dropped out of school to become a child field worker to help support his younger siblings. At the age of 15, he embarked upon a journey to the U.S. in search of financial stability, leaving behind a life of poverty. My mother, on the other hand, was fortunate enough to grow up in a financially stable home in Nuevo León, Mexico. At the age of 18, she moved to the U.S. to study at Texas Southern University. My parents met in their late 20s and married by the time they were 30. In the fall of 1987, I was born. I grew up in a bilingual household. My parents introduced me to the Spanish language, while my cousins who lived next door introduced me to the English language. Although my parents had lived in the U.S. for most of their adult life and had assimilated to the American culture, it was very important for them to introduce me to traditional Mexican toys. Growing up, I always had traditional Mexican rag dolls with braided hair and traditional dresses. Another traditional game my family introduced me to was the Mexican lottery, which is similar to American bingo. Growing up, my parents always talked about God, but they never enforced any religion. Keeping up with their traditional upbringing, they baptized me in the Catholic Church. Growing up, I was introduced to various religious aspects. However, my parents wanted me to have the opportunity to choose the religion that correlated with my religious views. From a very young age, I knew the importance of an education. My parents had high academical standards for me. Ever since I started school, my mother became an active member of the PTA organization, dedicating the rest of her life to my academic success. Education is very important for my family. From a very young age, I was taught the importance of charitable work. For my parents, it was very important that I learn how to be sympathetic towards others, help the less fortunate, and help those who were defenseless. Although I was born and have lived my whole life in the U.S., the food I typically cook is traditional Mexican dishes. My upbringing and social experiences have contributed to my cultural identity. From the food that I cook to the languages that I use, I am a bicultural Mexican American.